Coronavirus is on the loose in Washington, D.C., and this is how and why it's going to be impacting the real estate market. Hi, welcome back to another Coffee with Coleman, where we love to discuss Washington, D.C., business, real estate, all that good stuff. My name is John Coleman, and I'm a real estate agent here with the Jason Martin Group in Washington, D.C. Quick favor, could you go ahead and just hit the like button real fast? It just lets me know that you're enjoying the content that I'm putting out. And if you really enjoy the content, then go ahead and hit the subscribe button so you're alerted when new videos are posted each week. Let me start by saying I am not a doctor and I am not an economist, and do not take advice from me on those two subjects. However, I think this video is going to be helpful for getting a realistic look at how the coronavirus could be impacting Washington, D.C. real estate over the next little bit. I'm not going to take this lightly. I don't think it's a joking matter, but I think it's something that people, especially home buyers and home sellers, need to be taking into account as they're making their decisions whether they want to sell their homes or buy a new home. Whether or not you think this is a big deal is kind of irrelevant at this point, because the reality is the market is reacting to it. The stocks are taking a hit, and it's going to have an impact with schools closing, businesses working remotely. There's a lot of factors going into it, and I think that this is going to have an impact whether or not you or I think this is a big deal or not. All right, so obviously this is a new thing for DC, so we're trying to figure this out. So what I've done is I actually went and talked to a number of agents in cities like Seattle that are a little bit ahead of the curve in terms of the virus outbreak, and been talking to them about how we might be seeing it hit our market a little bit, and then also trying to take in the news and some other people that might be helpful in terms of what we need to learn. For future historians out there, or people that just aren't in tune with the DC market, 2020 has been off to a jumping start from January until now, which is March. There has been a lot of activity around listings, and buyers have been out in droves, meaning it's been pretty tough for buyers to find properties. And I've seen this firsthand with some of my buyers. There's been situations where we've had 10, 15, 20 offers on a place, and it's really hard to land a spot during that. So a little bit of context as we jump into this. However, in a blink of an eye, we could see this changing. I've already heard of some buyers packing up their little suitcases already and saying, we might just sit this out for the next little bit. We don't want to get infected, and the market's really volatile, so we don't really know what's going to happen. So we're going to step back and see where things take us. On the other hand, I've actually heard of a couple sellers that are maybe going to hold off as well. I'm not sure exactly the reasons, but one of the things I heard from a person was they don't want people that are infected coming into their home. Again, I don't know the science behind that. I don't know if that's actually a real thing. So it's a real concern that a real seller had. With all of this said, I think we're going to see a reduction in the number of people looking for homes, which in turn might lead to less competition for the homes. Because remember, we just talked about how hot of a market it was. Well, we're about to see an opportunity where homes are going to be a little bit more available than they were even a couple weeks ago. And this means for the buyers that aren't scared off, I think it's a chance for an opportunity. I think that there's going to be some things that maybe you weren't able to get in before. Maybe there'd be a ton of offers that can help you move along the way. The real question is it going to rebound? And that's something, again, I'm not going to be able to tell you, but that's really the piece that people are considering here. Like, there's going to be a flux here. The stock market has taken a hit. People have stopped buying a little bit. But do we believe that at some point things are going to normalize and go back to the way it was? And if you think that that could as well be the case, then this opportunity of less competition could be seized. And not to mention, these rates are historically low. Rates are around 3.25 for some of my buyers right now, and that is pretty much just free money in the context of the history of interest rates. So this is an opportunity where you might be able to find a little bit more for your money because of both the interest rates and the less demand for properties. And this could be an opportunity that you seized. I know I have a number of buyers that just had such a hard time this early spring that they're gonna seize this opportunity and they're gonna do a great job in finding an awesome home. And then when things normalize, they're gonna pat themselves on how good of a deal they got at the end of the day. So two other things that I think might be helpful. One, if you're really afraid of getting infected, this might be a time when you want to avoid open houses, meaning you should do more private showings with your agent. This would allow you to make sure that you're not going to be around a bunch of people. Agents are shaking a bunch of people's hands. You don't know what they got in their hands. So just be careful. And if you do go, just, try to keep your distance from everybody else. And then two, one of the things that we're offering for our clients is the ability to do some either FaceTime or live video feeds of properties so people don't have to expose themselves to the elements and be out there and put themselves at risk. We'll do that for you. And then if there's something that you really like, of course we're gonna wanna get you in to see it in person, but this way we can take the amount of time that you have to be out seeing properties and limit that a little bit. So leave me some feedback below. Is the coronavirus gonna keep you off the market, whether you're a buyer or seller? Tell me why. I'm just curious to know. Other markets are still moving, but certainly we've seen some buyers pull back, but the interest rates are keeping people very interested. So refinances are off the charts right now. All right, well, looking forward to checking in with you guys next week. Thanks again for stopping by another Coffee with Coleman. Peace.